In the world of American politics, very few names carry the weight of experience, influence, and longevity like Eliot Engel. A man who spent more than 3 decades shaping laws, influencing foreign policy, and representing the people of New York, has now passed away. Eliot Engel is no more. His death on April 10, 2026, has raised questions, emotions, and reflections across the political world. How did a man with such a long and powerful career meet his end? What really caused his death? And, more importantly, what kind of life did he truly live behind the spotlight of politics? Today, we take you on a complete journey, a deep, emotional, and detailed look into the life, career, struggles, controversies, and final days of Eliot Engel. Eliot Lance Engel was born on February 18, 1947, in the Bronx, New York City. The Bronx during that era was a place full of energy, diversity, and struggle. Growing up in a Jewish immigrant family, Engel was surrounded by stories of hardship, survival, and hope. His grandparents had fled the Russian Empire, escaping persecution in search of a better future. These early family experiences played a huge role in shaping Engel's worldview. From a young age, he understood the importance of opportunity, freedom, and community. He attended public schools in New York, where he quickly stood out as a curious and thoughtful student. History fascinated him, politics intrigued him, and leadership seemed to come naturally. After finishing high school, Engel continued his education in New York. He earned a bachelor's degree in history, a subject that would later influence his political thinking. But he didn't stop there. He went on to complete a master's degree in guidance and counseling, followed by a law degree. This combination of education, history, counseling, and law gave him a unique perspective. Before entering politics, Engel worked as a teacher and guidance counselor. This period of his life is often overlooked, but it was incredibly important. As a teacher, he learned how to listen. As a counselor, he learned how to understand people's struggles. And as a future lawyer, he learned how systems work. All of these experiences would later define his approach as a politician. Eliot Engel's political journey officially began in the late 1970s. In a special election, he won a seat in the New York State Assembly. This was his first real step into public service. At the state level, Engel focused on issues that directly affected everyday people: housing, healthcare, education, social welfare. He wasn't just a politician, he was someone who understood the needs of his community. For over a decade, he served in the state assembly, building trust and gaining experience. People began to see him as reliable, approachable, and hardworking. But Engel had bigger ambitions. In 1988, Engel made a bold move. He ran for the United States House of Representatives, challenging an established incumbent. It was not an easy race, but Engel's connection with the community gave him an edge. And in a surprising victory, he won. This marked the beginning of a historic political career. He would go on to serve 16 consecutive terms in Congress. That's more than 30 years of continuous service. Representing parts of the Bronx and Westchester County, Engel became a familiar and trusted figure. His office doors were always open. His presence in the community remained strong, and his influence in Washington kept growing. Eliot Engel was not just another congressman. He became one of the most influential voices in American foreign policy. Eventually, he rose to become the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. This role placed him at the center of global decision-making. Engel was deeply involved in international issues. He supported democracy movements. He spoke out against human rights violations. He worked on policies affecting countries across Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. One of his major focuses was the Balkans conflict. He also played a role in legislation aimed at reducing child labor in developing countries. Engel believed that America had a responsibility beyond its borders. His work earned him recognition, not just in the U.S., but internationally. But even the most powerful careers can face unexpected turns. In the later years of his career, Engel began facing criticism. Some constituents felt he had become disconnected from his district. Then came a moment that changed everything. During a public event, a microphone caught him, making a controversial comment, suggesting he wouldn't speak if he didn't have a primary opponent. The comment quickly spread online. Public reaction was immediate. and negative. Soon after, in the 2020 Democratic primary, Engel faced a strong challenger, and in a shocking outcome, he lost. Just like that, a career spanning more than 3 decades came to an end. Behind the political figure was a man with a personal life. Eliot Engel was a husband and a father of 3. Despite his demanding career, he remained close to his family. Friends described him as warm, dedicated, and deeply passionate about his work. He wasn't perfect, but he was committed. And for many, that commitment defined him. In his later years, Eliot Engel began facing health challenges. Reports indicate that he was suffering from Parkinson's disease, a progressive neurological condition. Over time, the disease affected his movement, energy, and overall health. Despite this, Engel remained strong and private about his struggles. His final days were spent in New York City, surrounded by loved ones. The same city where his journey had begun would also witness his final moments. Eliot Engel passed away on April 10th, 2026, at the age of 79. According to confirmed reports, the cause of death was complications from Parkinson's disease. His death did not come suddenly, but it marked the end of a long battle with illness. Leaders, colleagues, and citizens across the country expressed their condolences. His passing was not just the loss of a politician, but the loss of a man who dedicated his life to public service. Eliot Engel's legacy is complex, yet powerful. More than 40 years in public service, 16 terms in Congress, a major role in shaping U.S. foreign policy. Yes, his career had controversies. Yes, it had a dramatic ending. But his contributions cannot be ignored. He helped shape conversations that affected millions of lives. And in the end, that is what defines a legacy. From a young boy in the Bronx to one of the most powerful figures in Congress, Eliot Engel lived a life of impact, challenge, and service. And now, his story has come to an end. Rest in peace.